Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Come see us at Blue Ox.
And welcome back in. It is the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach. We are broadcasting from the Ravens Room here at the Blue Ox, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City with Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand. The Ravens Wrap Show, of course, brought to you by the Green Turtle, the Blue Ox, Bud Light, our friends at Comfort Inn Gold Coast, also the Ocean City Golf Club, Holiday Inn Express, Geico, and our newest member back again this year, jctickets.net. Well, it's that time of the program that we have a little question and answer session with the audience. And first up, we will hand it off to Harry and your question.
Thank you, guys. It's safe to say that Sergio Kindle is no longer in the Ravens picture.
He's not even close to the frame, Harry. You know what I mean? Where they, you get the big team picture, you put it in the frame. No, he's. I think the injury cost him his career.
Yes.
I figured
no
as
more
much.
needs to be said.
I mean, look at this. I mean, you're out there, and by Wednesday, you're going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, full practices. You're out there, and when you're playing special teams, you're trying like heck during the week to work to let your coaches know that you can start. Or if there's an injury or something, you can start to have confidence in it. And if you're not seeing that, it's just like the question is almost, where's Jimmy Smith been? Well, you see him in training camp, they see him practicing, and he's still nickel. So as much as you're looking at what's up with Kerry Williams, I'm thinking about what's up with Jimmy Smith.
Right. Why isn't he supplanted?
Why isn't he? Well, he obviously, because these gentlemen see it, and I trust their judgment. They're better football men than I am. At the same time, they're looking at it and go, I'm putting my best player on the field. So Jimmy Smith has not even shown that he can start.
How about discussing Bernard Pollard's play?
You know what? I love the guy. I played strong safety. He reminds me a lot of what it's supposed to be. He's a John Lynch type. He's one of those guys that can play run, that can play pass. You can put him down in the box, and he likes to hit, and he's good at it. He just doesn't throw his shoulder in there or run with his head out there like a rooster. He throws his arms and legs in the program, makes tackles. I like him a lot.
We were discussing during the break. I think you could definitely make a case for him right now being the MVP of the defense, through the first quarter pole of the season. And it's almost like he's a small linebacker. I mean, he really comes up and hits, or like a linebacker used to be back in your days where he comes up and takes care of it. And I mean, the big knock on him was he didn't have any ball skills, but he's intercepted a ball in the playoffs, and he definitely intercepted one early in the season, and looks to be definitely improving in that area.
Yeah, his pass coverage very good. I guess that was a byproduct of the players that he had around him, which are much better in Baltimore. And we don't get many free agents, but that was a great free agent acquisition. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name's Ken. Bruce, a couple secondary questions. Kerry Williams, we're talking about that he's not hitting people off the line. Why? Why doesn't he do that?
I'm not sure. Please understand, I mean, the coaches are obviously, because they see film, they watch what the Philadelphia Eagles did to our receivers in the second half when we played them. I'm sure they're on him, harping on him. I just don't know why the young man doesn't believe that physicality is a big part of the football game, And the fact that he's so big and strong, those things should be his assets. His assets should be, I'm going to get my hands on you, going to bang you around a little bit. Because if you're just running, why don't you just get the little short shorts on, we'll wear our little track outfits, and go out there with our little things and run up and down the field. That's not football.
And some of it's
So,
based
and I
on,
can't figure it out.
and some of it's based on defense too. Not every defense has your bump and run.
No, of course not.
But and part of it too may be a lack of pass rush. You know, if I'm worried that they're not going to get there, the quarterback's going to have 6 seconds to throw the ball, then you play bump and run, you take a big chance of you getting beat there.
Well, see, there's all that stuff that young players don't feel comfortable with. You can play bump and run, but you know what? Maybe you start from 5 yards deep, and you don't even know that you're bump and run. A lot of young players, I was one of them. I remember my first 2 years. Here was my first 2 years. I know my assignment, so I know what the defense is. I know my alignment, and I know my responsibility. If you had asked me in my second year, what is the weak side linebacker doing on this? I go, I don't know. I don't know. I just know what I'm doing. I know what the guy next to me is doing. So you don't have that feeling of understanding everything and the cat and mouse game. I would never let a receiver know I'm bumping and running him. First of all, I don't run as well as most of those guys when I played that way. So why would I tell him that I'm showing him something that I'm going to do right from the get-go? When I bumped him, I started from 4 yards back and then got up at the last minute and bumped and run him.
Ken, I think you can also say his play is probably most affected in the secondary by the absence of Terrell Suggs, where, I think he's really, really standoffish because he knows I got to run with this guy and there's probably not going to be any pressure there, where he's probably overcompensating for that, where he's just turning and running. And we were talking about, the thing about him that just kills me, he doesn't look at the ball. How can you play, in the secondary when you're not looking at the ball?
And how frustrating you think it is for coaching. I mean, if you played this game as a young child and Pop Warner, that's what they tell you. When he looks back, you look back. You got to do those things, and if you're not doing them, and if you get a lot of situations where the communication has been bad, a young player gets, if I do my job, and where's the over-the-top help? He's been burnt twice, and no one's taken the bullet for him.
Bruce, one other thing, with the skinny talent that we have, at corner, with the exception of Ladarius Webb, why don't we have a better alternative than to use Webb on returns? I mean,
no.
Why don't you talk about that?
Not really, and I think Jacoby Jones should maybe do some more of that as the year gets on.
That's why he was brought in.
Why he was brought in, but he's looking really good at that third wide receiver spot. And I like him. I like his size. I like his hands. They're going to get that. But as the season progresses and you get down a guy like Webb, he's too valuable to get a knee or get something happen doing punt returns.
Absolutely.
I mean, you love the big play, but you still got to think about the long overdue.
My question is, why have we not used the quick offense as much as we did in the beginning, the hurry-up offense?
Good question there. I mean, again, Joe Flacco is now really just coming into his own with that. He's able to do the mini huddle and move it and understand all the players around him must be as smart as he is, or it doesn't work.
Well, he's very comfortable with it.
He seems to be, and I've been calling for that. I've been calling for Joe Flacco, Steve, to come out and be more of the maestro, to me more of the orchestrating of telling people what to do and where to go.
I think we saw, Marlon, in the Philadelphia game, you saw the weakness of the no-huddle offense is it puts your defense on the field for an awful long period of time. When you're not running the ball, at least you're running the ball. If you don't get a first down, you've burned 2 or 3 minutes off the clock. If you're passing the ball and you got 3 incompletions, you burn 45 seconds off the clock. And that puts your defense on the field for the entire second half. And, I've thought from day one that no-huddle is good. Sporadically, you mix it in.
Yeah,
you don't live by it. And obviously, it's changed by matchup. And they thought against Philadelphia, hey, we can really take advantage of them.
Well, they did. They really thought that they could pass the football. They thought that they had the personnel to beat the 5 underneath, 2 over the top. It's called double man. But unfortunately, with the replacement referees and the mugging that was going on, and you as an athlete, you as a pro, should know who those refs are. And this generation of player has no idea who these gentlemen are, what they do. Now, the coaches do and talk to them, but I've talked to these refs. I've been around this game for a long, long time. And it's amazing. When I get to the referee, I said, I mean, especially for secondary people, boy, I would know the two back guys. I know their names. I'd ask for their wives' names. I know if they had a child or what they were doing, because I wanted whatever edge. It probably was nothing, but I talked to them about certain situations. It's going to look like I'm holding, because it's like, and I'm explaining
But I'm not
why
really-
I'm really
the
going to
jerk
hold
around
the
my
guy.
hand is not really being held.
Right. And you know what? Just every little bit of doing it the right way. And the modern player doesn't get it. They do not think that these men are relevant, and I don't get it.
Well, the good news is since our last show, the real refs are back, folks. They're back. No more replacement refs. I think we can all clap to that. So that's and the first game, the Ravens and Browns, they made their debut. So, yeah. Although I think the honeymoon was over within about the first 30 seconds. So.
Well, sure. I mean, of course you're going to get mad. You do that, but again, that's part of the game of football, and you know they're part of it. You can never use the refs as an excuse. I mean, I used to go as a young player, and I'd sit in there and not knowing, and I got held. So when the coach was giving me all kinds of grief at the film room, I go, Coach, I was held. He just shut the machine off, said, excuse me? What'd you say? What'd you say to the guys? I was held. You can't be held, you moron. It's, of course you're going to get held. You can't be held. You can't say that that's your excuse. There's no excuse of being held. Don't get held.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.